What's the moment that made you realize love can be used as a form of control? My husband Theodore was always freakishly close with his sister, Olivia. In our 3-year relationship, he has canceled dates to hang out with her, sleeps over at her house and share a bed together, and even calls her romantic pet names. But the thing is, it never drove me away, because the rest of his family died in a tragic car accident when he was in his 20s. Plus, he was Italian, and in their culture, everything goes. The part that upset me the most is that she always seemed to hate me. Like, one time when they came back from dinner, I saw she was wearing my diamond necklace, and when I subtly mentioned it, she just said, "Well, I thought you wouldn't mind since it obviously looks better on me anyway." Or another time, she started a fight between us by telling him that she saw me flirting with another guy. The flirting in question? I told a guy on the street his shoelaces were untied. I honestly felt like a third wheel when we all hung out together, but I still never minded, because I just figured, it's his sister. Family comes first. And I wanted our daughter to be close with her aunt too. Until one day, when my water broke. I was alone in the house, and when I called Theodore, he texted saying, "With Olivia, can't talk RN, just text." And when I told him I was about to go into labor, he didn't reply. So, I called the ambulance, but they put me on hold. So there I was, about to give birth, driving to the hospital all by myself. The only person who was there to hold my hand and comfort me was my mom. There were complications during the birth, so I had to spend the night in hospital. Theodore didn't even show up until the next morning. "Good morning, my love. I'm so sorry I never saw your text," was all he said, before picking our baby girl and twirling her around the room. Well, I was still extremely vulnerable and sensitive from the pregnancy, so I figured it was easier to just let it slide than to bring it up. And I guess he knew he messed up, because for the next few days, he was the most attentive, kindest father and husband any woman could ever dream of. Every time I winced, he was already standing with the heating pad before I could ask. And even when I insisted I was fine, he sang lullabies to the baby at night while rubbing my swollen feet. But I guess old habits really do die hard, because it wasn't long until Theodore was barely home again, hanging out with Olivia. So one day, when I was feeling particularly miserable and lonely, I left the house with my baby girl to visit the old neighbor lady. Mind you, this lady has lived in this town since she was born. She knows everybody. So as I'm ranting, Olivia comes up, and I started telling her how I didn't mind him prioritizing his family, but I thought after I gave birth things would change. Suddenly, her face drained of color. She gripped the table to steady herself. "That's not his sister," she said, voice shaking. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. Olivia is my coworker's daughter and has no siblings, and in the worst way possible, everything had finally clicked. The loving glances, the playful touching, the constant tickling. I called my mom crying, and she didn't say anything, just told me she was on the way over. My chest was burning up so much I thought I was having a heart attack. Luckily, she packed up all his things without question. So that night, Theodore came home to all of his stuff in bin bags at the door. I told him what I knew, and he didn't even seem ashamed, just sad that he'd been caught. "Babe, she's just a friend." I slapped him. "You will never be allowed near me or our baby again. Get the F out of my face." A smirk was instantly plastered on his face. "You say that like it's a bad thing," he remarked. During all this, my baby girl was sleeping upstairs in her cot, so my mom had no issue with shoving him away from me and telling him to F off. He left, and even though I felt like a total badass, it was hard. And somehow, things were about to get even harder, because when I went back to the neighbor lady, she told me his family had never died. His mom is alive, but he has no contact with her. However, he still talks to 3 of his aunts, 2 uncles, and has several cousins. Suddenly, all my heartbreak was replaced with a deep, unearthing rage, and I was going to make him and Olivia suffer hard. The rest of the full video is on my channel and linked below.